Hi, very good morning to all of you. Yeah, please be seated. So, welcome to orientation session number 3. And we will just very quickly recollect and recapitulate what we discussed yesterday. And thereafter, we will take the discussion forward. And today, I feel that it's a breakthrough session. What inputs and insight you will get, particularly related with GS answer writing, that is going to transform the entire process of civil service exam preparation. Okay, so yesterday I said that if 2027 is the target year, then as a serious aspirant, you need to stick to 8-8-8 rule, 8 plus 8 plus 8 rule. 8 hours of study, 8 hours sleep and rest and relaxation, and another 8 hours for your personal, family, professional, any other commitment which you may have. Okay, and those who are eyeing for 2028, for them, I said that it should be 5 plus 5 plus 7 plus 7 rule. Okay, so 5 hours of, preparation for competitive exam in general, civil service, UPSC exam in particular, and then another 5 hours for any other, higher education course in which you might be enrolled. Okay, so your graduation or LLB or whatsoever it may be, okay, or masters or whatsoever. Then another 7 hours for rest, relaxation, and then 7 hours for family, social, personal commitments which you have. Okay, then we discussed that there are 4 stages of civil service exam preparation. The first stage is about creation of a strong foundation, and this foundation you can create strongly for civil service examination by reading NCERT book from 6th to 12th standard. And then we discussed about the way in which you should read NCERT book for maximum benefit and optimizing the effort. Okay, so how to optimize the effort to complete NCERT book reading, and how to maximize the gain which you will have after the successful completion of this exercise. So we discussed about the importance of creation of a strong foundation. Then we discussed about systematic, rhythmic, time-bound preparation with focus on syllabus, with focus on previous year questions, with focus on attending classes regularly, making notes, revising class notes, studying meticulously, religiously the printed material, and clubbing this with selective reading of one standard book on each module. Okay, and that is going to create and constitute the core of the study material or the reference material, and you have to do repeated revision of this rather than endlessly opting for expansion. So the key to success is limited expansion and more consolidation. The key to success is, rather than reading 10 different books, read one standard book 10 times. Okay, limiting the study material, limiting the reference material. You should be driven in life, in all walk of life. Quality should drive you, not the quantity. Okay, so quality write-ups, reading material, and repeated revision. Okay, and when I say revision, I told you that revision is not about revision. Revision is not about rereading. Okay, there can be n number of smart ways of revision. Okay, and one of the most important form of revision for civil service exam is that after completing the reading, if you write answer, if you solve MCQ and on that particular topic or subtopic, that is the most effective, speedy, faster, way of revision in civil service exam. So we have discussed about systematic, rhythmic, time-bound preparation with focus on syllabus and PYQs. Then we discussed about the importance of keeping yourself updated and informed on all current and contemporary developments. And in this particular, stage, importance of reading newspapers. If you recollect, if you recapitulate, we discussed about 5S strategy, that how you have to scan, how much time you have to devote on scanning, and how you should remain focused while scanning on first page and central page of the newspaper. Then how you are going to skip most of the headings which you will find in different pages of newspaper, including first and central page. Then how you are going to select, then how you are going to study, and then how you are going to summarize. Okay, so we have discussed about 5S strategy for reading newspapers in the form of, scanning, skipping, selecting, studying, and summarizing. Okay, and every detail. And these days, even in conventional area, when UPSC will ask question because that conventional, traditional topic is in news for some reason. Okay, is in news for some reason. Okay, so that is why keeping yourself updated and informed on current and contemporary development is the key to success in civil service exam. And there is no alternative to newspaper reading. Okay, there are multiple supplementary to newspaper reading. To supplement, you can do many things, but you should not look for an alternative, that if I don't read newspaper, then can I listen to some news channel, daily newspaper analysis, or some very, ready to eat, okay, so ready to read kind of content which is provided on Instagram and Telegram channel. That will be of not much help. Okay, you should read newspaper on your own, and you must make notes. And before you read newspaper, once you select the topic, even before you start studying, map the topic with syllabus, that which subject, which theme, which topic, which subtopic, the article or the editorial or the event which you have selected for a study for that particular day is related with. Okay, but today I am going to take up for discussion this most important stage. Entire during the preparation, right? Entire during the preparation, you need to remain focused on acquiring certain skills. And once you are able to acquire the skill, then you need to sharpen those skills. Okay, so skill development is the key to success in this scheme of preparation. And the most important skill is none other than writing skill. The success in civil service exam is heavily dependent on writing skill. How powerfully you can express with pen, particularly when you get called for main examination. That will decide, right? That will decide the destiny of yours in this scheme of preparation. And the sad part of the story, the disturbing facet of the story, majority of aspirants, right? Majority of aspirants who are preparing for civil service exam, in initial few years of their preparation, they are completely ignorant towards writing skill. Okay. And they are ignorant with awareness. Everybody knows that writing skill is the most important in this success mantra. For this success, writing skill is the most important. But what they do? Every time they talk to some senior, successful candidate, mentor, teacher, they will ask how to improve writing skill. But they will not take even the first baby step to improve their writing skill. Okay. And some of them, after failing in one or two prelims, you know what feel they develop? Anyway, this writing skill will be needed once I qualify prelims. Okay. And somehow if they qualify prelims after 2-3 failures, then 2-3 times they will fail again in main. This is the reason why day one, when you start the preparation for civil service exam, you should remain focused on step by step improving your writing skills, and particularly GS answer writing skills. Okay, GS answer writing skills. Then personality development. Okay, when you will go for UPSC interview after qualifying the main exam, then, right, it's not interview. That stage of, selection process has been wrongly popularized by teachers, students, aspirants, that it is IAS interview. It's not interview. Are you aware? It's not interview. It's personality test. UPSC is calling that as what? Personality test. But what common people are calling that? Interview. You know what is interview? How many of you know the word interview? Interview means what? When you sit in a formal setup to interchange view, right? What is this interview? Interchange of views. Okay? Exchange, interchange. Okay? In a formal setup. You cannot be casual. Okay? You will have to limit yourself in time, right? Words. Okay? You have to maintain the etiquettes. Okay? Everything. So that is known as what? Interview. When you sit in a formal setup to interchange views. When you go for personality test of UPSC, board members are not going to interchange views with you. They are only interested in knowing your views. You cannot show your interest that I am equally interested in knowing your view. Okay? It's not interview. It's personality test. What UPSC will do? UPSC will invite you to Delhi at UPSC building, which is in Shahjahan Road, okay, near India Gate. And then, right, and then the day when your so-called interview is, you will reach there, then you will be allotted a board, and then when your turn will come, you will step inside the boardroom, and 5-member UPSC board will do a purposive conversation with you for 20-25 minutes. And with that 20-25 minutes of conversation with you, the board will judge your suitability of your personality for a career in public service. UPSC board will only judge whether your personality is suitable for career in public service or not. Is this clear? So it's personality test. So once you know that it's personality test, and that's very important stage in this scheme of selection, then day one onwards, you will remain committed towards bringing certain transformation in your personality. Okay? Because I said yesterday that you cannot transform your personality overnight or over week or over fortnight, over month. It's a process. Okay? And there will be some transformation, sudden. But most other transformation in your personality will be gradual. Okay? And more self-awareness, right? More and more you will get pushed towards that transformation. I will talk about that. So today, I am going to take up for discussion this fourth stage in your preparation, that is skill development. And within this skill development, right, within this skill development, what is very important for you to know? Answer writing skills in general, and your communication skills, which is important part of personality development, how to improve your communication skills, okay? And then other facets of personality development, what you need to do. And ये वो stage है, this is the stage in your UPSC civil service preparation. You know, no matter whatever you do in life, these skills will help you to be successful. These skills will push you to make you stand in the front line of anything which you do in life. Okay? So very important stage of preparation, skill development. So let's start, right? Let's start, you know, the discussion on art and science of answer writing. Art and science of, and I, as a GS mentor and teacher, will focus on GS answer writing. Is this clear? Clear? Okay. And even before I say anything, okay, I am not going to present a shortcut method of improving writing skill. There is no shortcut method. Okay? Many trainers, teachers, mentors, life coaches, language coaches, they are claiming, okay? But I feel, this is my personal feeling, all such claims are false, fabricated, okay? There is no shortcut. इसमें सबसे important क्या है? Practice. You will have to practice a lot. But practicing alone will not help. With practice, there will be betterment in speed. Okay? But qualitative improvement will not be there. Okay? Qualitative improvement will be there when you know the technology part. When you know the art and science part. And then you practice, then it will have transformative impact on your score and skills, both. Your writing skill will get transformed. On any topic you can, write, and within few minutes you can write world-class answer. Okay? An answer which anyone, if will read, will get impressed. will fall in love with your write-up. Okay. But that's only possible if you will first learn the trick, learn the technique, learn and understand the art and science part, and then you will have to practice. Practice makes the man perfect. This you must have been told in your early childhood days. Okay. And any form of art तो बिना प्रैक्टिस का हो ही नहीं सकता है, राइट? एनी फॉर्म ऑफ आर्ट, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स हो, क्रिकेट हो. ओके, द न्यू सेंसेशन इन इंडियन क्रिकेट इज वैभव सूर्यवंशी. This year IPL, when he was facing world class bowlers, on the very first ball he was hitting them, over boundary for 6. Now world knows only this, but the world is not knowing the kind of practice which he has done since the age of 3 to 4 years. Okay, so what I am just trying to say, any form of art, music, painting, okay, sports, sketching, drama, okay, dance, any form of art, okay, you cannot mastery without practice. So even in GS answer writing, one component is learning the tricks, knowing the art and science, decoding the technology, and then second component is practice. You will have to practice a lot during preparation. Okay, so let me come to art and science of GS answer writing. I hope Joe sir would have told you that when you go for GS main examination, GS main exam, there are 4 papers. Yes or no? There are 4 papers, and in paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, okay, you will find they are going to ask you 20 questions in each paper. Okay, and out of 20 questions, 10 questions to be answered in 150 word, and another 10 questions to be answered in 250 words in all the 3 papers, right? In all the 3 papers. Is this clear? So, and for this, how much time you have? 3 hours each, right? So within 3 hours, you have to answer 20 questions, 10 to be answered, right? 10 to be answered in 150 words, another 10 to be answered in 250 words. And these 10 which are to be answered in 150 words, they are known as 10 markers. 10 markers. 10 markers means 10 marks. The answer is going to be evaluated out of 10. Okay, so 10 markers. And these which you are going to answer in 250 words are 15 markers. 15 markers. Okay, these are 15 markers, meaning they are to be answered, they are to be evaluated out of 15. Okay, so right, so you can make out on your own that 10 markers, okay, and 10 question. So 10 into 10, 100 marks, and this is 10 into 15, 150 marks. What it means? Each paper of GS, right, is how much? 250 marks. 250 marks each. When it comes to paper 4 is ethics, aptitude, and in paper 4, you will have two types of question. One will be theory, thinker based, okay, definition, concept based, and second will be case study. Okay, in paper 4, one question, one form of question will be theory based, thinker based, okay, definition and concept based, where they will be asking you what is this concept, what is, good governance, what is ethical governance, what is e-governance, like that, okay, and some administrative theory, they may ask you on some thinkers, okay, all those things. But another set of questions in paper 4 you will find that is in the form of case study. Okay, so they will be creating a situation. Okay, and then they will ask that had you been in that situation, what would have been your response and why? Okay, and by that, by reading your response, they would see, okay, the ethical component, the integrity, the, aptitude, the attitude, okay, suitability of yours for a career in public service, your leadership traits, how you respond and react in a stress situation. ये सब judge करेंगे on the basis of your response, which you will give in case study. Okay, so I am just for a time being leaving this paper 4, okay, or for a time being I am just including one half of the paper 4, which is question based on theories, definition, concept. Okay, so in GS, right, in GS you have to write in each paper, right, you have to write in each paper, how many answers? 20 for completion of your paper in 3 hours, and out of 20, 10 answers you have to write within 150 words, another 10 you have to write within 250 words. Is this clear? Now, right now, few things. When it comes to art part of GS answer writing, artistic part of GS answer writing. Okay, so when it comes to artistic part of GS answer writing, then what all will fall within the ambit of artistic part? Okay, so one of the very key component of artistic part is handwriting, right? Handwriting. Okay. Then language. Okay. Artistic part. Okay. Handwriting, language, and presentation. Okay. So when it comes to artistic part, right, what all will fall within this? Okay, and out of 3, right, out of 3, okay, the most important is language and presentation. Okay, but this does not mean that you can undermine handwriting, right? You can undermine handwriting. Okay, and few things, right, when it comes to artistic part of writing, what you will find, simple arithmetic, right? 20 questions are there, right? 20 questions are there, and these 20 questions are to be answered in either 150 word or 250 words. Okay, so if you want to complete the paper as per UPSC instruction, how many words you will have to write? 4,000 words. How many words you will have to write? 4,000 words. And this 4,000 words you have to write in 180 minutes, 3 hours. But, right? But this statistics is wrong. Why it's wrong? Because 180 minutes will include you reading questions as well. And these days, they are asking question in 30 to 80 words. To read 80 words, that will take at least a minute. Okay? If it is in 30 to 40 words, it may take 30 seconds. But if it exceeds 60, 70 words, then it may take even a minute. Okay? So, this you should remain aware. Now, even if we take that you have to write 4,000 words in 180 minutes. Right? In 180 minutes. So, what should be the speed with which you have to write? Tell me, simple arithmetic. 4,000 words to be written in 180 minutes. So, what should be the speed with which you should write? Tell me. Okay, 20 to 23 words per minute. Okay, but I told you that you will need some time to read question. That time you will not be writing. Then the invigilator in the room will come to you. Okay, and will see your admit card and will ask you to write the roll number in the attendance sheet. Okay, will ask you, to fill some other details and then to sign in his invigilator attendance sheet. Okay, which will mark you present in the main exam. So, right, not going into that kind of microscopic details, you have to write 25 word per minute speed. Okay, 25 word per minute speed. Now, what's the challenge when it comes to artistic part? Right? Many student, and if you ask, I appeared in main 24 years before. Okay, that was the last main which I wrote. Okay, and I still remember that I had very good grasp over the general studies. I consider myself a very good student. But today when I look back, that despite being a good student who was having very good grasp over every topic in general studies, why I failed to score high in GS? One of the prime contributory factor was my poor handwriting. All my teachers in those days used to tell me, after reading my answer, the punch, the accuracy, the power in your write-up is very impressive, but you need to improve your handwriting. Okay? Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to get through main. But, right? But I used to be, a bit arrogant also in those days. Okay? So I used to say, okay, I will try. Okay? But in reality, I never tried. Okay? So when I say handwriting, right? When I say handwriting, what you need to understand, that I don't want that you should have world-class calligraphic skills. No. But you should have the nature and character of your writing that anybody can read easily. Is this clear? Anybody can read easily. Okay. And anybody can read easily even when you are writing with speed. Okay, first few answer which you will write in the exam hall will be comparatively better, and anybody can, read. But when you will be writing towards second half of your, paper and the exam hall time, that is your, we see for many students, there will be, so much deterioration in the standard of their handwriting that it's very difficult for them to read and understand what has been written. Is this clear? So, from day one, in your preparation, you have to make, affirmative, you have to make committed efforts. You have to take some affirmative steps. Okay, some affirmative steps to improve your handwriting. Is this clear? Now, those whose handwriting is good, right, they need to, maintain that even when they are writing for longer duration and when they are writing with speed. Okay, those who have, good handwriting, what they need to do, they have to make sure that even if they are writing for 3-4 hours continuously, then also there is no deterioration in the, their handwriting. And even when they are writing very fast, okay, then also there is no deterioration, right, in their handwriting. They have to. And those who have slightly average or below average or poor handwriting, what they need to do? They need to take up affirmative steps to improve their handwriting. And how they can improve? By writing more. How they can improve? Right? By, by being aware that my handwriting is poor, I need to, I need to take some steps. What steps you can take? What all steps you can take, right? First thing, you can increase the font size of your, writing. Okay, if you write very small, okay, then increase the font size slightly. Okay, increase the space between two words. Increase the space between two sentences. Identify the alphabets, which you write in a similar manner, which makes difficult for others to make distinction. Okay, I, U, W, E सब एक जैसा है. ओके, अभी तो थोड़ा चेंज हो गया है जमाना, बट हमारे जमाने में, एंड माई जमाना इज नॉट दैट ओल्ड. ओके, सो डॉक्टर्स का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन आई डोंट नो वेदर यू हैव सीन और नॉट. ओके, मोस्ट ऑफ द डॉक्टर्स विद द एक्सेप्शन ऑफ वेरी फ्यू, if you will read their prescription, only their compounder sitting outside or chemist near there, right, chemist near their clinic can understand. Okay, abhi to you know very well, doctors with digital ho gaye, voice embedded, prescription which will come in printed format, and the time when you come out of clinic, it will come on your WhatsApp. Okay, that has created ease for all of us. But 10-15 years before, everyone used to face this difficulty, that when they will go to a doctor, and when doctor after diagnose, will write prescription, it will be so difficult for them to understand what is written. Okay, what is written. So you cannot be writing a prescription the way doctors used to write 10 years before in the answer, right? Because you have to write with speed. Is this clear? So, one thing, immediate what you can do to improve your handwriting, increase the font size, increase the space between two words, increase the space between two sentences, increase the space between two paragraphs. Okay, two paragraphs. Try to bring visibility in your write-up. Okay, and by reading and practicing, okay, try to make distinction between alphabets which you write. Okay, you will have to identify. There is no universal rule. यहाँ पे customization होगा. Okay, and if you feel your handwriting is very bad, फिर तो थोड़ा बच्चे जो करते हैं स्कूल डेज में कर्सिव राइटिंग बुक खरीदो और थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस कर लो. No harm. Okay, but I think the maturity which you have, okay, and if you have commitment, you can do it, okay, even without practicing on cursive writing books. Is this clear? Yeah. Yes, means UPSC multicolor pen they will not allow, ink pen they will not allow. Okay, because in the ink pen, what happens that if evaluator or if you while writing, if you are sweating inside or if you spill water, then everything will get destroyed. So ball pen, blue ball pen. Okay, and this is very important here question. You select the pen which you should use continuously during your preparation. Even you should attend class and make notes with that pen. Okay, every test you should write with that pen, and ultimately same pen you should use when you go for main examination. These small little things in the beginning of your preparation, when you will look back after being successful, will appear to you as a giant step. Okay, so fix the pen in the beginning of your preparation. This is the pen. Purchase, right, half a dozen pen, and at regular interval keep on purchasing, not in one or two, dozens which you should use. Okay, आपका फिंगर सेट हो जाएगा. ओके, स्पीड आ जाएगा उसके साथ. तो related with handwriting, what is the takeaway? First thing, that you need to judge. Okay, that how will you rate your handwriting, right? Poor, below average, average, good, very good, excellent. 5-6 category. Okay, and if you feel that your present state of handwriting is in poor, below average, average category, okay, then you need to plan affirmative step to improve. And I am telling you, even those who feel that they have excellent handwriting, very good handwriting, for them, they need to take affirmative step to ensure that even when they write for very long duration continuously, and when they write with speed, then also there is no deterioration in the quality of their handwriting, standard of their handwriting. Standard is not going down with speed. Standard is not going down with duration. If you write, first hour you write very well, and second hour onward there is some deterioration, and third hour, it is, deterioration to an extent from excellent, it has reached to poor level. Is this clear? So you will have to, take a call for yourself, okay? And if you are struggling, then Team ALS will help you. Okay, the moment you bring one page before us, we can judge that your, handwriting is in the, category of good, very good, excellent, average, below average, or poor. Okay, and then we can share with you some tips and tips. But in general, right, in general, क्या करना है? General क्या है? आपको लिखना ज़्यादा है. Okay, general क्या है? If it is in the category of poor, average, below average, okay, क्या करना है आपको? Space between words, font size थोड़ा बढ़ाना है, space between words बढ़ाना है, okay, space between sentences increase करना है, and you need to identify the alphabets which you write in an identical manner, okay, And then you need to plan that how you are going to bring distinction, okay, in those alphabets while you are writing. Okay, so this will take care and you can improve. But very important part in artistic part of writing is handwriting. Second important is language. No matter whatever is the present state of your language, you need to take higher the standard of your language. And all of you are sitting in English medium, general studies program. So all of you are going to write in English. Okay. So your English language standard you will have to take higher. Now the question is how you can take the standard of your English language higher. Okay. Very simple things you have to do. And if you do, it will have transformative impact on your language. Now, right now, in general, what should be the standard of language in your answer? So, my one sentence answer for this question of yours can be, your language should be simple yet powerful. Okay, your language should be simple yet powerful. Okay, so you have to maintain, you have to maintain simplicity in sentence formation. But in your expression, there must be power, punch, precision, accuracy. Okay, and this power, punch, precision and accuracy, how it will come? When you will take affirmative step to improve your language. Okay? Now, language को improve करने के लिए पहला चीज क्या करना है? Word power, vocabulary. Word power, vocabulary. Okay? Now, every day during your preparation, you have to commit yourself that you will learn 5 new words. Right? 5 words a day. New words. Okay? Now, how will you learn? Okay, how will you learn these words? Okay, you will learn these words while reading NCERT book, while attending class at ALS, while reading newspapers, while reading a standard material, while listening to any discussion on prime time discussion, news channels, okay, or while reading novels, while reading any articles, editorials. If you are encountering a new word which you haven't heard earlier, then what will you do? Immediately you will pick that word, okay, note it down somewhere, and back home at your study table, you should have a word power diary of yours. Okay? Word power diary. You need to maintain, or if you are, using desktop, laptop, or iPad, notepad, or any other device, smartphone, okay? Then you create a folder and file, separate file, and that folder and file is what? Word power, file or folder of yours, or, in hard copy if you are doing, then you should have a word power diary of yours, okay, day long, while attending classes, while reading newspaper, while reading any standard book, while listening to some teachers explaining things in the class. If you have heard a new word, right, immediately note down that word, right, and when you go back, then document that word in your word power diary. Look into the dictionary meaning, right? When you go back home, look into the dictionary meaning, okay? But when you will look into the dictionary meaning, okay, that will not help. You write down the dictionary meaning in that diary of yours, and not even writing the meaning will help, okay? Make 2 sentences from that word in that word power diary of yours. And next 30 days in your day-to-day life, use that new word. Okay? I will tell you. गाली देना किसी ने सिखाया आपको? How many of you joined some institute, right, to learn गाली? गाली देना सिखाया है किसी ने? But what happens that in your day-to-day life, suddenly if there is a emergence of a situation, you land up using some or other bad word, foul word, wrong words. तो जैसे bad word सीख गया, अब आ गया है टाइम some good words सीखने का. But technique will be same, right? आपने कैसे सीखा bad word? You heard someone, okay, and then you saw, right, कि ये गाली देने से काम हो जाता है. Next time you also experimented, okay, and then you experienced, oh, इससे तो सामने वाला हर्ट भी होता है, या तो काम कर देता है, right, या तो कोर्स करेक्शन हो जाता है, something. So you will learn new words now, good words now, using the same technique. And what is the technique? That when you will note the word in your word power diary, you will look into the dictionary meaning, you will write the meaning, right? You will write the meaning, and then you will make 2-3 sentences, and then next 30 days, right, you will forcefully use that word in your conversation with friend, in your write-ups, okay, in your communication, right? Forcefully, force yourself that I have to use that word. I have learned such a good word, right? I have to use that word, okay? 30 days when you will push yourself to use that word, 31st day onward, naturally it will become the part of your vocabulary. Effortlessly it will come. Okay? You don't have to push. Okay? It will become the part of your word power. Is this clear? Clear? 5 new words every day. And आपको बता दूं एक, GS में हर मॉड्यूल में 60-70 पावरफुल वर्ड सीख लेना है और उसको खूब यूज करना है. ओके? इकोनॉमिक्स में अगर आप वायबिलिटी वर्ड अगर यूज करना शुरू कर दिया, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी में टेक्नोलॉजिकल इफिशियंसी वर्ड यूज करना शुरू कर दिया, ओके, पॉलिटी में अगर आपने ना कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल ऑफ जस्टिस सिस्टम, cardinal principle of democracy, cardinal principle, rather than saying that this is the main point, this is the cardinal point. Cardinal word, the moment you start, punch आने लगता है, power आने लगता है. Okay? In every subject there are 60-70 words. You need to learn and you need to play with them, right? In your write-ups, in your verbal communication, power punch आने लगेगा. Is this clear? So 5 new words every day, right? 5 new words every day. And from where you are going to pick these words? Classroom discussion, okay? NCERT reading, standard book reading, newspaper reading, okay? You will pick these words, you will go and document in your diary, you will look for dictionary meaning, you will make 2 sentences. Next 30 days, right? Next 30 days, you will force yourself to use that word in your day-to-day conversation, in your day-to-day requirements, and 31st day onward, it will become the part of your vocabulary. Okay? And the, expansion in your word power will upscale your language. Is this clear? Then language में फिर क्या करना है? While reading newspapers, while reading selective books, okay, while listening to teachers discussion in the class, आप powerful sentences, quotations, idioms and phrases, okay, उसको भी compile करो, collect करो and use करो, okay, while reading editorial, okay. Once I read one editorial, and that editorial was on Mahatma Gandhi, okay. That editorial was, I still remember, it was 9-10 years before, 2017 or 16, I don't remember. That was, centenary year of Champaran Satyagraha. And in that one sentence I read that Gandhi realized that peaceful protest and non-violence can achieve what no weapons can ever achieve. Peaceful, protest and negotiations can achieve what no weapons can ever achieve. Okay? And this sentence, right? This sentence impressed me and I started using this. Okay? And every time I use this sentence in my, session, in my talks, in my speech, I feel so confident and every audience finds this, very deep in its meaning. Okay, so you have to start collecting, compiling and later using quotations, powerful statements, sentences, idioms and phrases. Okay, that is also going to take the standard of your language higher. Is this clear? Yes or no? So compilation. One is expansion in the word power, right? Second is compilation of quotations, powerful sentences, and what would be the source, right? What would be the source? Every walk of life. Right? If you travel to railway station, आपको दिखेगा quotations. If you travel to any institution, right, you will see quotations. If you visit temple, church, mosque, gurudwaras, you will find quotations. Okay? If you go to government office, you will see so many quotations. And forget about that. Right? अभी तो बहुत easy हो गया है. Every morning when you will open your phone and will see WhatsApp message, right? So beautiful quotations के साथ good morning. Okay? So अभी तो task एकदम easy हो गया है. It's very easy. और AI के जमाने में और easy हो गया है. Okay? Once you will see, right? That powerful quotation again and again, same thing will get presented before you. Because AI will read your interest. When you are present on social media, what is your interest? अगर आपका interest है, right, sports, आपका sports वाला वीडियो ज़्यादा दिखने लगेगा आपको. Okay? अगर आपका interest है, quotations में, powerful sentences में, AI enabled, right? That will come in front and that will come frequently before you. And if you start seeing, clicking, then further it will come. Okay, so this is very easy in today's era. Compilation, collection of quotations, powerful sentences, right? Very impressive comments, very, impactful statements, very impressive idioms and phrases. बहुत आसान हो गया है. इसका कंपाइलेशन शुरू करना है, कलेक्शन शुरू करना है एंड यूज करना है as and when situation demands. Okay, as and when situation demands. Okay. Yesterday, right, I was reading one newspaper article. You must have heard of this word, social media se, FOMO. Right? What is FOMO? fear of missing out. Okay? अभी कल मैंने देखा, right? One retired civil servant is saying that JOMO, joy of missing out. Okay? So earlier there used to be fear of missing out. Many people will be fearful that I should not miss out on this, I should not miss out on that. But today, sometimes we have, joy of missing out when we celebrate. Thankfully, I was not there. Thankfully, I was not knowing it. Okay. So he very powerfully used this expression. And he wrote, and I got impressed, that in service, FOMO, after retirement, JOMO. And this transition from FOMO to JOMO, right? So what I'm just trying to say, that you just have to start, collecting, compiling, and then using powerful sentences, quotations, statements, impactful comments, and idioms and phrases. और ये आपके लैंग्वेज में, राइट, एफर्टलेसली क्या करेगा, इसका स्टैंडर्ड को, स्केल को ऊपर ले जाएगा. ठीक है? दिस इज सेकेंड थिंग. थर्ड थिंग व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, राइट, थर्ड थिंग लैंग्वेज के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से यूपीएससी में व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. ओके, नाउ ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स नहीं हो सकता है. एंड सो कॉल्ड जेन जी, उनके लैंग्वेज में लॉट ऑफ ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स आर देयर. Because their language is getting corrupt and contaminated by social media write-ups. उसमें बहुत सारा, okay, chat GPT use कर रहे, okay. So you have to ensure that in your language there is no grammatical errors, there is no spelling mistakes. वो जो बूढ़ा लोग आपका आंसर इवैल्यूएट करेंगे, they have zero tolerance towards spelling mistakes. You know what they say while evaluating? This boy or girl who cannot correctly write the spelling of 5 words is aspiring to become an IAS. Nonsense. Okay? So there cannot be spelling mistakes and there cannot be grammatical errors. इसको कैसे आप कर सकते हो ठीक? Right? While reading, if you scale up your concentration, okay, automatically from your language, what will get eliminated? Spelling errors, spelling mistakes nahi hoga. Okay, the moment someone, right, the moment someone while writing, is committing spelling mistakes, मेरे दिमाग में क्या आता है पता है? ये बच्चे का concentration level poor है. That while reading, concentration level is poor, and that is depriving that candidate even to know, even to see properly the spelling. Okay. If once you see properly the spelling while reading, you will never commit spelling mistakes. Okay. And, right, and while writing, if you have confusion, that I am confused about the spelling of this word, immediately you should look into, dictionary or Google. What's the correct spelling? Don't postpone that even if I know the spelling correctly or not, let me move on. Right? If you will move on, permanently what will get induced in your language? A spelling mistake for that particular word. Okay? So, as and when you have, confusion, settle the confusion that moment itself by looking once. Okay, if you do this for 3-4 months, slowly, gradually, this challenge in your language will get eliminated. Is this clear? Yes or no? Clear? Yeah. That's qualifying in nature. Okay. So in the main examination, right, in main examination, I hope you know the scheme of main exam, that English language is qualifying. And one Indian language other than English you have to write, and aspirants from some states are exempted from this. For example, Mizoram, right? For example, Nagaland, okay? They don't have to, right? They don't have to take up any other Indian language to qualify. But everybody has to qualify English, right? And it's qualifying. You will not much struggle in that, okay? But if you feel that you cannot score 33 out of 100 even in that, okay, then you just solve 5-year previous year question, get it evaluated from that language expert, okay, take some tips and you will qualify, okay? It's not that, it's not the part of merit, okay? It's just a qualifying in nature. But the language which I am talking is about English language for your GS answer writing, essay writing, optional paper mein answer writing. Everywhere this language part will come into play. You understood? Right? So no grammatical errors, no spelling mistakes. Okay? No spelling mistakes. Okay? Now, right now, very important in the artistic part of writing. Very important in the artistic part of writing. What you need to do? Now onward, today onwards, one attitudinal and behavioral transformation. Every time you read a content, you have to read content from dual perspective, dual mode. One will be when you are reading history NCERT, you will read history NCERT to know the history. And you will also read that history NCERT, what's the sentence formation, what are the choice of words, right? So the moment you start reading everything with dual objective, your language will improve. You should listen to me, right? Not only to learn polity, but the manner in which I am trying to present the concept, the words in which I am communicating with you all. Okay? So if you will remain alert, attentive towards language, presentation, sentence formation, choice of words, while reading, listening, your language will improve. Right? Your language will improve. I have no hesitancy in saying when I started preparation, my English language was horrible. I studied in a Hindi medium school. And it was very difficult for me to write English correctly, to speak correctly. A lot of problems in my pronunciation. Too much MTI. MTI, you understand? Mother tongue influence. Okay? But then, realization that unless I improve my language, I cannot be successful in any competitive exam. That, realization, understanding, followed by some affirmative step, helped me, and it will help you as well. But that realization is important. That level of commitment that I have to transform my language. और मेरे को सबसे ज़्यादा benefit क्या हुआ है? Right? सुनने का. While listening, I am a bit, cautious. I am a bit more alert. If someone speaks well in front of me, right, then I would try to learn from that individual, no matter whosoever that individual is. Okay? So every time when I watch news channel discussion, okay, I will listen to the news anchor very carefully, that how he or she is presenting the topic or the content, how he or she is introducing, okay, what choice of word, what kind of words, okay, and then I will try to get benefited, okay. So you will also get benefited if you become a bit more alert, attentive, responsive, participative while you are reading, while you are listening. Okay? In a effortless manner, your language will improve. But you have to commit yourself to improve your language. And in language, and here it also is presentation, right? So language and presentation part, very important, right? Very important. Artistic part of writing, I am telling you. The big challenge is that majority of the students, when they write, what they do? They have a natural tendency and temptation to use too many sentence connectors. Okay? Instead of sentence connectors, use full stop. Okay? The length of one sentence should not exceed 20 words. 20 words agar exceed kar gaya, what will happen? What will happen? There will be, communication gap. Your intention to communicate something, reader is getting communicated something else. Is this clear? The moment you will ask someone, my dear, can you come and introduce yourself? That individual will start, I am so and so, and or because, right? Since, okay, no, use full stop. A small, simple sentence, yet powerful sentence. Okay? That will bring what? Punch and power. That will eliminate what? Communication gap. बहुत बार हम ये वर्ड यूज करते हैं ना, communication gap रह गया. I intended saying something, but you heard something else. Right? When the chances of communication gap is higher, when the sentences are too long, when the sentences are with too many connectors. If the sentence is with full stop, more sentences, right? With small sentences, then there will be no communication gap. Is this clear? So one key rule that you should write, right? You should write small sentences, simple sentences, yet powerful sentences. Okay? Many students have this temptation that if you will write a long sentence, then it will bring power. No. Power will come with choice of word. Okay? हम लोग बोलते हैं man of few words. Okay? Man of few words means you don't have to speak too much. But what you speak is heard and complied by everybody. Every listener gets impressed with few words of yours. Okay? That will place you very differently in the leadership position. Okay? So what I am interested in telling you, language mein, even when you practice, okay, try to write, so sentence formation. Okay? Don't stretch too far, too much. Don't use too many sentence connectors. Okay? Don't, stretch too far, too long, too much. Don't use too many sentence connectors. More frequently should be full stop in your write-ups rather than comma and sentence connectors. Okay? And then there will be no communication gap. Then I will say your language में क्या है? Punch है, power है, simplicity है, deep meaning है, okay? Maturity है, okay? Accuracy है, precision है, compactness है, okay? That's very much needed. Is this clear? Yes or no? Okay? So artistic part में, right? Artistic part में 3 things are there. So have you understood the 3 things? What are the 3 things? Right? Handwriting, लैंग्वेज एंड प्रेजेंटेशन. हैंड राइटिंग में क्या होना चाहिए? विथ ईज, एनीबडी कैन रीड. ओके, and this standard should remain same even when you are writing for longer duration and with speed. Okay, language mein, right, better choice of words, no grammatical errors, no spelling mistake. Okay, and presentation mein, a small sentence yet powerful sentence, no communication, right, no communication gaps. अगर ये बेसिक्स क्लियर कर लिया तो आर्टिस्टिक पार्ट ऑफ योर जीएस आंसर राइटिंग इज वेल टेकन केयर. एंड आई टोल्ड यू दैट एनी फॉर्म ऑफ आर्ट मास्टरी डिपेंड्स ऑन प्रैक्टिस. ओके, सो हैंड राइटिंग को इंप्रूव करना है तो थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करना है, लैंग्वेज को इंप्रूव करना है तो बहुत प्रैक्टिस करना है. ओके, प्रेजेंटेशन को बेटर करना है, देन यू नीड टू practice. Okay, with understanding what you need to do during, while you are practicing. Now comes the science part. Okay, and in GS answer writing, your score depends on science part of answer writing. Your success depends on science part of answer writing. Okay, now when it comes to science part, right, when it comes to science part, okay, what all falls within this, right, what all falls within this? Yeah, one thing I forgot in presentation. Okay, and there is a intense debate going on. Okay, every Tom, Dick and Harry who is teaching for civil service, they are giving gyan on this. And that has made aspirants confused. Okay, what is the subject of intense discussion among aspirants? That in GS answer, we should write answer in paragraph form or point form. Okay, this is a subject of intense discussion, too much confusion among aspirants. Okay, and what is the answer for this? Right, what is the answer for this? The answer for this is that whether you will write the answer in point form or paragraph form, that depends on question. Right? That depends on question. Most of the questions which they are asking can only be answered in paragraph form. But some of the questions which they are asking can better be answered in point form. Right? Can better be answered in point form. Clear? So you have to answer the question in paragraph form and you have the option, right, to answer in point format, but this will depend on nature of question. अगर क्वेश्चन में फाइनल डायरेक्टिव है डिस्कस, एग्जामिन, you cannot answer that in point format. Okay, that is to be answered in paragraph format. If the question is, list down the factors responsible, now this ideally should be answered in point format. Okay, what are the contributory factors? This is to be answered in point format. But you should not confuse. Point format means what? Your answer is structured in 5-6 points and each point is in one complete sentence. Point format is not bullet format. Bullet format is acceptable only in slide presentation. पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन में बुलेट फॉर्मेट चलेगा, आंसर में कभी नहीं चलेगा. ओके, सो यू शुड नॉट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड बिटवीन पॉइंट फॉर्मेट एंड bullet format. Some answer you can write in UPSC GS main paper in point format, but what falls within the ambit of point format? 5, 6 points, okay, 2, 3 points, whatever you choose the number, okay, but the point should be in the form of one small complete sentence. Incomplete sentence nahi, bullet format nahi, okay, one complete sentence, okay, bullet format nahi. Is this clear? Is this clear? And when it comes to paragraph, right, even when you are writing paragraph form, now you should not write the answer in one paragraph, okay. So if it is a 150 word answer, even that should be written in 3 to 5 paragraph. And if it is 250 word, that should be written in, 5 to 7 paragraphs. That will bring visibility. That itself can make it a point format. Okay, if you are writing a a small paragraph, 5 small paragraph in 150 word answer, each short paragraph itself is a point. Is this clear? So you should not remain confused about this, okay, whether an answer is to be written in point or paragraph format. My answer is you can write either in paragraph or point, but that will depend on nature and characteristic feature of the question, demand of the question. If the demand of the question is that you have to write the answer in paragraph, you will opt for paragraph. If the demand of the question is point, you will opt for point. Even while you are writing in point, right? Even when you are writing in point, the point should not be incomplete, sentence with keywords. No, point should be in the form of a small sentence, right? But complete sentence. And even when you are writing in paragraph, you cannot write the whole answer in one paragraph, okay? But it should be in multiple paragraph, and each paragraph should touch a specific point, okay? A specific point, a specific theme, a specific dimension, okay? That will bring visibility in your answer. So this was also an important part in presentation. So presentation mein, right? Presentation mein sentence formation and the format of your answer. Language mein, right? Simple yet powerful, with no grammatical error, with no spelling mistake, with better choice of words. And handwriting mein, okay, even when you are writing for long duration, even when you are writing with speed, there is no deterioration, and anybody can read with ease, when he or she has to evaluate your answer. Is this clear? Artistic part is clear. Now coming to science part, okay, coming to science part. And in this science part of answer writing, very, very important is, right? Very, very important is decoding the demand of question. Right? Decoding the demand of question. Okay. Now, what is the challenge which majority of the students are facing in the main exam? Main exam ke liye jab jayega, right? Most of the students who are going for main exam, what they will tell, right? Most of them, I will tell you, most of them on the level of knowledge are equally placed, right? All of them have almost equal level of knowledge. But out of 14,000-15,000 who are writing main, only 2,600 will get a call for personality test. Okay? So 1 out of almost, you can say, 6 gets a call. What is the difference between 5 who are writing main but not getting a call for personality test and the 1 who write main and get the call for personality test. Okay. The difference is, in writing skills. One who is getting a call for personality test, who is writing main, his writing skills are, better than the remaining 5. Knowledge is not higher in comparison with remaining 5, but their writing skill is better than other 5, because of which they were able to get a call for. And within writing skill, right, within writing skill, what is the, their, robust scientific part of answer writing. Okay. So one very key element in science of GS answer writing is what? Decoding the demand of question. You know what difference? These 5 who will write in the main and will fail in the main. ये क्या करते हैं पता है? Right? They will just read the central theme of the question. They will not read question properly. They will read the central theme of the question, and whatever they know on central theme, they will fit to create an answer. Okay? इनका mode of answer writing ये है. They fit everything they know on central theme, right, to answer the question. Okay? लेकिन ये जो one who gets call for interview, they will read the question carefully, they will decode the demand of question, and their answer will flow out of demand of question. Okay? Their answer will flow out of demand of question. जैसे ही आंसर इज फ्लोइंग आउट ऑफ डिमांड ऑफ क्वेश्चन, ये 1-2 मार्क्स बढ़ गया. एंड इफ candidate is writing answer in this format, that whatever I know on this, I will fit in my answer, right? And is not even knowing precisely exactly that what question is, right? What question is. उनको 2 मार्क्स तो वहीं कम हो गया. Have you understood? So first key element is to decode the demand of question. Now, how you can decode the demand of question? Okay. Now, are you aware? Are you aware that in UPSC exam, in 3 general studies paper, to write 250-word answer, how much time you have? How much time you have? 11 minutes approximately. It's 10.48 going by, exact arithmetic, but I am saying 11 minutes. And to write 150-word, right, 150-word question, how much is the, right, how much is the time? It is 7.2, but I am putting 7 minutes. Right, to write every 250-word answer, how much time is with the candidate? How much time is with the candidate? Okay, how much is the time? Okay, 11 minutes for 250 word. Okay, and for 150 word, how much is the time? How much is the time? This 7 minutes. Now, you know what ideally should be done, right? What ideally should be done? Okay, to write, right? To write an answer, right? To write an answer in 250 word, आपको क्या रूल फॉलो करना है? 7.5, 3.5. एंड इसके लिए क्या रूल फॉलो करना है आपको? 5-2, राइट? 5-2. What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this? Exactly, you have to write answer in 7.5 minutes, 7.5 minutes, right? 250 words, you have to try writing in how many, how many minutes? 7.5 minutes. And 3.5 minutes, right? 3.5 minutes is for what? Reading question carefully, reading question carefully, and right, and to plan the structure of your answer. Okay? To plan the structure of your answer. Okay? Is this clear? So, एक गोल्डन रूल लाइफ का आपको बता दे रहा हूं, लाइफ का, केवल एग्जाम का नहीं है, राइट? लिसन बिफोर यू स्पीक, राइट? यू मस्ट लिसन केयरफुली बिफोर यू स्पीक. ओके? एंड राइट, एंड रीड बिफोर यू आंसर. ओके? रीड बिफोर यू आंसर. And even after reading, don't write. Think before you answer. Okay? So think before you write. Okay? So one golden rule, right? One golden rule. This is the difference between Hollywood and Bollywood movies which are, which are produced and released. Hollywood में पता है आपको, मूवी का थीम को सिलेक्ट करने के लिए, स्क्रिप्ट को लिखने के लिए, ओके, दे टेक 2 years to 5 years. ओके? एंड देन शूटिंग को करने के लिए दे टेक लेस टाइम. इंडिया में मूवी को प्लान करने के लिए, राइट, दे विल नॉट टेक एनी टाइम. शूटिंग के लिए दे विल टेक टू मच टाइम. ओके? व्हाई? क्योंकि प्लानिंग वीक है. Okay, so right, so very important, right, very important. Okay, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक गोल्डन रूल आपको 3.5 मिनट में, राइट, 3.5 मिनट में 1.5 मिनट क्या है? केयरफुल रीडिंग ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. ओके? एंड 2 मिनट क्या है? थिंकिंग एंड स्ट्रक्चरिंग, मेंटल स्ट्रक्चर बनाना है. रफ पेज भी यूज करना है, रफ स्पेस भी यूज करना है. एंड 7.5 मिनट इज फॉर एक्चुअल राइटिंग. यू विल स्टार्ट एंड विद इन 7.5 मिनट यू विल कंप्लीट. इसमें क्या होगा? वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर, राइट? व्हाट यू विल बी एबल टू राइट? वेल स्ट्रक्चर्ड आंसर. अगर अभी मैं आपको बोल दूं, राइट, अच्छा, विल यू अप्रिशिएट दिस? Right? Will you appreciate? I ask you that please draw the sketch of, right? Please draw the sketch of a human being. Okay? तो आप करते हो human being. चलो ये body हो गया, ये head हो गया, ये पैर हो गया, ये हाथ हो गया. Will anybody appreciate this? No. The moment if anyone is asking you to draw the sketch, immediately come, you need to think, okay, in this sketch, I have to, at the top, I have to create head, then neck, then body with hands, then leg, right? Feet. तो ये well structured sketch बनेगा. Okay? Otherwise, unstructured. 90% students का आंसर जो होता है ना, okay, they practice also. They write within prescribed word limit also. They have good command over language also. Okay, they have been able to include most of the points in the answer, but their answer is ill structured. Why it is ill structured? Because they deprived themselves from decoding the demand of question. So first thing is what? Read question carefully before writing. Think before you write. Structure before you think. Right? Structure before you think. And every paragraph of the question should be as per demand of the. तो demand एक बार अगर registered हो गया दिमाग में, right? So ये जो 3.5 मिनट है वो किसके लिए है? Decoding demand by carefully reading, thinking, planning, structuring, and then you write. Okay? Then you write. Now, right? Some of you will be surprised. ये मैंने क्या किया? थोड़ा इंटेंशनली मैंने क्या किया है? ये 3.5 बोला है. जब आप लेटर पार्ट, जब थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस कर लोगे ना, इवन इफ यू राइट शॉर्ट आंसर, इट्स एक्सेप्टेबल टू मी इन द बिगिनिंग. लेटर क्या होगा पता है आपको, राइट? ये जो टाइम है 3.5, with practice in later half of your preparation ये reduce होके कहां तक आ जाएगा 2.5 and this will you will get additional 1 minute, it will come to 8.5 और ये आपको असली मार्क्स फेच करेगा. ओके अभी क्या है, all 11 minutes you will write. Okay, and some of you will never be able to complete in 11 minutes, you will take 16 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, ये लेटर क्या होगा पता है आपको, right? This will come down to 1 minute and this you can increase with to 6 minutes. Is this clear? So पहला जब भी अभी से every time when you write even one answer back home, in class, during test, anywhere, anytime, right? What you have to do? You need to develop this habit to read question carefully. And while you are reading question, underline the keywords. Keywords को underline करना है, right? You need to underline the keywords. And in each question of, right? In each question of UPSC, right? You will find that there will be a final directive. There will be final directive. उस final directive को circle करना है, right? Final directive like discuss. In some question they will ask you to discuss. In some question they will ask you to examine. In some question they will ask you to analyze. In some question they will ask you to comment. In some question they will ask you to explain. In some question they will ask you to, right, critically examine. In some question they will ask you to evaluate. UPSC 16 to 18 directives are there in GS with which they are asking question. इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं क्या, right? Front or tail end directive. Either it will be in the front or it will be towards the end. Right? That final directive. Final directive को क्या करना है? Encircle करना है, circle करना है. And keywords of the question क्या करना है? Underline करना है. And question you have to read slowly, carefully. You should not read fast. Each word properly. Slow down. Okay? Read slowly, carefully, underline keywords. एंड फ्रंट या टेल एंड में जो फाइनल डायरेक्टिव है उसको क्या करना है? सर्कल कर देना है. द मोमेंट यू डू दिस, आपके दिमाग में क्या क्लियर हो गया? डिमांड ऑफ क्वेश्चन. एंड यू नो, नॉट टुडे बट लेटर आई विल हैव ए एक्सक्लूसिव सेशन विथ ईच डायरेक्टिव. द डिमांड ऑफ क्वेश्चन, स्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ आंसर विल चेंज. But what happens with majority of the aspirants, whether the tail, ultimate directive is discuss हो, evaluate हो, examine हो, comment, वो सब में एक ही format में आंसर लिखेंगे. Okay, no, you cannot afford to do this. For every directive, you cannot structure your answer in the same format. With directive, you will have to bring certain changes in the format of your answer, a structure of your answer. I will give example, right? I will give example. If the directive is discuss, right? If the directive is discuss, okay? Discuss the present state of Indian economy. Let's say, very simple. They will never ask such a simple question. I am just giving you. When the word is discuss, then what we have to do? Right? What we have to do? What should be the format of our answer? Now, the moment you see discuss word, you should get reminded of news hour discussions. You must have heard, no? Some news hour discussion at some point of time in life. Yes or no? What happens in the discussion? Right? One news anchor will be there. He will start the discussion by introducing. Okay? So he will introduce that today in this, new channel, news hour discussion, we are going to discuss this topic. Okay? So he will introduce the topic for discussion. Okay? And then what will happen? In that discussion, there will be different panelists. So what panelists will do, right? Panelists in their talks will include what? Pros and cons. Pros and cons. Okay? Merits and demerits. दोनों का बात होगा. Merits and demerits. Advantage and disadvantage. Advantage, disadvantage. Challenges and concerns. Benefits and, challenges. Okay? Benefits and challenges. Okay? Merits and demerits. Okay? Merits and demerits. And if you cannot structure your talk in this format, pros and cons, merits and demerits, advantage and disadvantage, then 360 degree. Discussion का मतलब always होता है 360 degree. 360 degree means, multi-dimensional, multifaceted. Okay. So economic, impact क्या होगा, social impact क्या होगा, constitutional facet क्या है, global क्या है, humanistic क्या है, environmental क्या है, ecological. This is what is discussion. Yes or no? Right? So 360 degree, meaning, multi-dimensional, multi-directional, multifaceted points को उठाना है. You cannot pick one theme and can stretch. Then it is not discussion. Okay? You cannot, choose one side of the coin and stretch. Then it's not discussion. Discussion means both sides of the coin. Both pros and cons. Both merits and demerits. Okay? Or if you cannot structure in this format, then immediately what should come in your mind? 360 degree coverage. 360 degree means multi-dimensional, multi-directional, multifaceted. Okay? तब आपके दिमाग में उसी समय आना चाहिए. Okay, इसका इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट क्या है, इसका लीगल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एस्पेक्ट क्या है, इसका सोशल एस्पेक्ट क्या है, इसका ग्लोबल क्या है, इसका इन्वायरमेंटल क्या है. ओके, इसका इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट क्या है. ओके, अगर इफ यू आर एबल टू इंक्लूड 3, 4, 5 डिमेंशन, वो डिस्कशन का डिमांड को केटर करता है. आर यू गेटिंग इट? यस और नो? Okay, and tell me, while you are watching any new channel discussion, okay, will you appreciate if the discussion very abruptly ends? Towards the end of the discussion, there should be some conclusion, and that conclusion should be based on discussion. Okay, so when you are writing an answer for a question in which the ultimate final directive is discussed, you have to structure answer differently. You understood? Yes or no? Now, let us say question is examine. Examine. Okay, final directive is examine. Now, how you have to structure your answer for this directive? You cannot structure the way you structured your answer discuss. You will slightly change the structuring. Okay, now, when the word is examine, all of you have the experience of one thing, no? At some or other point of time in your life, you must have been examined by some doctor. कभी तबीयत तो खराब हुआ है ना? हुआ है नहीं हुआ है? Tell me. हुआ है? You have visited doctor. और डॉक्टर ने क्या किया है आपको? एग्जामिन किया है. डॉक्टर एग्जामिन कैसे करता है बताओ? राइट? टेल मी व्हाट हैपेंस ड्यूरिंग एग्जामिनेशन बाय अ डॉक्टर. टेल मी. द मोमेंट यू विल गो विथ व्हाट? डॉक्टर साहब बहुत पेट दर्द हो रहा है. देन डॉक्टर विल आस्क यू सम क्वेश्चन. बोलेगा कब से हो रहा है? पूछेगा ना? तो बोलोगे लास्ट नाइट. राइट? ऑलमोस्ट मिडनाइट इट स्टार्टेड, स्टमक एक. ओके, फिर डॉक्टर बोलेगा चलो राइट स्टमक दिखाओ. देन विल प्रेस, बोलेगा इधर हो रहा है, अपर एब्डोमेन में है, लोअर एब्डोमेन में है, मिडिल एब्डोमेन में है, लेफ्ट साइड में, राइट साइड में, क्या है, ओके। फिर देखेगा फिजिकल एग्जामिनेशन, स्वेलिंग वगैरह तो नहीं है, ओके। फिर देखेगा राइट कि टाइटनेस तो नहीं है, ओके। उसके बाद पूछेगा व्हाट यू हैड यस्टरडे डिनर में, बोलेगा पार्टी था, राइट, थोड़ा मोमोज खा लिया, थोड़ा ड्रिंक कर लिया, ओके। फिर डॉक्टर डायग्नोज करेगा, ओके, कि कोई फूड एलर्जी है, ओके, या इन्फेक्शन है, स्टमक फ्लू है, डिहाइड्रेशन है, इंडाइजेशन है, ओके, या कोई सीरियस प्रॉब्लम है, ओके, डाइजेस्टिव ऑर्गन का कोई प्रॉब्लम है, लीवर का, ओके, पेनक्रियास का, ओके, या इंटेस्टाइन का, एसोफेगस का, वो सब डॉक्टर का काम, तो एग्जामिन करता है डॉक्टर, ओके। जब डॉक्टर के पास क्या है, एग्जामिनेशन का टूल भी है, बोलेगा थोड़ा ब्लड टेस्ट कराओ, अल्ट्रासाउंड कराओ, एमआरआई कराओ, थोड़ा एडवांस टूल है। सो एग्जामिन का मतलब क्या होता है, द मोमेंट द यूपीएससी इज आस्किंग यू टू एग्जामिन इन ए क्वेश्चन इन जीएस और इन योर ऑप्शनल, नाउ पूरा का पूरा आपका आंसर शुड बी स्ट्रक्चर्ड क्या, कॉज एंड इफेक्ट, राइट, कॉज एंड इफेक्ट, व्हाट इज द कॉज एंड व्हाट्स द effect of it, okay. Whole answer is to be structured in slightly different format, okay. Previous night overeating हुआ है, okay, या contaminated water का drinking हुआ है, या excessive alcohol drinking हुआ है, less sleep हुआ है, उसका effect क्या है, right, stomach ache है, indigestion है, जो भी है. So the moment the question is examine, what should come to your mind? What should be the structure of your answer? Cause and effect. This is cause, this is effect. In every paragraph, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. Now that is catering the need of examination. वहां पे अगर लिखने लगा मल्टी डिमेंशनल, फिर एग्जामिनर को समझ में आता है आपका आंसर राइटिंग बहुत पुअर है. बाहर आकर के बोलेगा, दोस्त पूछेगा, पेरेंट्स पूछेंगे, टीचर कैसा हुआ बेटा पेपर, फोड़ दिया, रिजल्ट आया फूट गया. फिर बोलेगा यूपीएससी में प्रॉब्लम है. मेरा फ्रेंड, उसको बहुत सारा जीएस का टॉपिक मैंने पढ़ाया, वो आईएएस बन गया, मैं पीटी मेंस में फेल हो गया. राइट? तो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज दिस साइंस पार्ट ऑफ आंसर राइटिंग. राइट? तो इसी तरह से 16 डायरेक्ट और एक दो और फॉर आउट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. राइट? इफ द क्वेश्चन इज if the question is evaluate, right? Now evaluate. What you have to do in this answer? What you have to do in this answer? Tell me. What you have to do in this answer? Evaluate. Your answer will get evaluated, no? So examiner is going to do what? Right? Will examine and will give marks. So in evaluation, always what you have to do, right? You have to do rating. How good, how bad, how exceptional, how average is the scheme, program, initiative, okay, theme. So इसमें rating करना पड़ेगा लास्ट में आपको, okay? And rating हो, right? असेसमेंट हो, इसमें असेसमेंट करना होता है इवैल्यूएशन में. असेसमेंट, रेटिंग, ओके, मार्क्स, राइट? मार्क्स. बट मार्क्स देने के पहले फिक्स द स्केल. स्केल फिक्स करो. दैट ऑन द स्केल ऑफ 0 to 10 आई वुड लाइक टू गिव दिस स्कीम दिस मच मार्क्स. बट रेटिंग एंड असेसमेंट और मार्किंग इज टू बी डन, राइट? और इसके लिए आपको जस्टिफिकेशन भी देना पड़ेगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि ऐसे ही एक मार्क्स दे दिया, देन इट विल नॉट केटर द right? Why you are giving? If you are giving, let's say on the scale of 8 marks, right? Why you have given 8 and why you have hold 2? Uske liye justification. You understood? You understood? You know, reason for the marks which you have given, right? And justification for marks which you have deducted. दोनों बताना होगा आंसर में आपको. Then only it will cater the need of evaluation. Pros and cons with assessment नहीं. Pros and cons का मतलब है कि इसका, you know, what all benefits we can expect, what all challenges we can see in future. That is what is pros and cons. No, this is you just have to say that whether it has been able to meet with its objective or not, and if it has been able to meet with its objective, to what level, to what degree, you know, to what extent, and why you feel so, right? Why you feel so. Okay, so evaluate में always क्या करना है हमें? एक रेटिंग करना है, ओके, एक असेसमेंट करना है, एक मार्किंग करना है, ओके, एंड देन justification for marks which you have given and even the justification for marks which you have deducted. Is this clear? This will cater the need of what? Evaluate. Or you know, UPSC, right? UPSC बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन में बोलता है explain, right? Explain. Now you tell me, what should be the structure, right? What should be the structure? In your childhood, this would have happened with all of you. Something would have gone wrong, right? While you were playing with friend outside your home, and when you came back home, the parent would have asked you, "Beta, please explain what happened." हुआ है ना? डांट मिला है ना बचपन में? ओके, मालूम चला घर के अंदर फुटबॉल खेला, टीवी तोड़ दिया. पेरेंट्स वर नॉट देयर. व्हेन पेरेंट्स केम बैक, दे आस्क्ड, एक्सप्लेन करो कैसे टीवी टूटा. ओके, सो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू व्हेन द डायरेक्टिव इज एक्सप्लेन, राइट? एक्सप्लेन का मतलब टीचर इज एक्सप्लेनिंग इन क्लास. व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम टीचर? ओके, सो देखो, एक्सप्लेन का मतलब ही होता है, राइट? यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड sequential, right? Sequential you know, narration of event, or right, or simple sequential narration with एग्जाम्पल्स. एग्जाम्पल देने से सिंपल हो जाता है ना, राइट? सो द मोमेंट, राइट, द मोमेंट डायरेक्टिव इज एक्सप्लेन, व्हाट वी हैव टू डू? सीक्वेंस को मेंटेन करना है, सिंप्लिसिटी को मेंटेन कर रखना है, और एग्जाम्पल्स देना है उसमें, राइट? एक्सप्लेन सुनते ही, रीड करते ही आपके दिमाग में क्या आना चाहिए, राइट? कि with ease someone should understand. With ease, right? Someone should understand. Okay, and someone can understand easily, okay, when you, right, when you maintain what? Sequence. Okay, when you maintain what? Simplicity, and when you give examples. Clear है? पुलिस के पास जाओगे ना, आईपीएस अगर बन गए, इंट्रोगेशन में सिखाया जाएगा दैट यू विल बी आस्किंग द सस्पेक्ट, प्लीज एक्सप्लेन, राइट, वेयर वर यू एंड यू नो हाउ यू डिड व्हाट इज एलिज्ड. नाउ एट दैट टाइम द पुलिस वुड ऑलवेज बी इंटरेस्टेड इन knowing the sequence and would always prefer what? Simple बताओ, simple तरीके से बताओ, that you were driving, right? You were driving with what speed? Okay. You were planning to go to which destination? You started at what time? Okay. What made you accelerate? Okay. When you accelerated, then what you found? What happened next? And then next? Okay. So explanation is always about what? Sequential, simplicity, example, ease with in which someone can understand. And you know what happens, right? Teachers are supposed to explain concepts in class, but many teachers, instead of, right, making the concept easy to understand, will make difficult for students to understand. Now that's not explanation, right? That's not explanation. Okay, the teacher is trying to display what? His knowledge. No, teacher is not explaining to student. A good teacher, while explaining, should remain focused on this, that I have to maintain simplicity. I have to, narrate in a sequential manner, well structured manner, so that with examples, so that it is, easy for a student to understand. Then it is catering the need of explanation. Okay, बहुत सारा स्टूडेंट आंसर में लिखा हुआ है एक्सप्लेन, और वो जो थीम है ऑन विच क्वेश्चन इज बेस्ड उसको और कॉम्प्लेक्स बना दिया. मार्क्स देगा इवैल्यूएटर? बिल्कुल नहीं. सो एक्सप्लेन में बहुत बड़ा रोल किसका आ जाता है? एग्जाम्पल्स, केस स्टडी. ओके, इफ यू गिव एग्जाम्पल्स एंड केस स्टडी, ईज हो जाएगा अंडरस्टैंड करने. इफ यू जस्ट मेंटेन द सीक्वेंस, ईज हो जाएगा. आर यू गेटिंग इट? Yes or no? Right? Yes or no? And then, right? And then, ऐसे तो 36 directive, 16, 17 directives है. Okay, but let me give you, right? Let me give you some more. If the directive is analyze, क्योंकि ये भी बहुत frequently use होता है, right? Analyze. If the directive is analyze, you know what is the meaning of word analyze? Analysis, right? One एक live analysis कर रहा हूं, right? एक live analysis करके दिखा देता हूं, demonstrative. This is a glass of water. What I did, I drank some water from this glass. Now I will analyze. If I put this glass of water in front of you, I can analyze this, through different perspective. If I look this, different conclusions I can make. Okay. So जो life में optimist है, वो क्या बोलेंगे? Right? क्या बोलेंगे? Half filled with water. Okay. Another class of people will say half empty. जो सुपर ऑप्टिमिस्ट हैं वो क्या बोलेंगे? हाफ फिल्ड विथ वाटर, हाफ फिल्ड विथ एयर. वो नहीं बोलेगा हाफ एम्प्टी, वो क्या बोलेगा इसको? हाफ फिल्ड विथ एयर. इससे भी जो एक्सेप्शनली सुपर ऑप्टिमिस्ट है वो क्या बोलेगा? हाफ फिल्ड विथ वाटर, अनदर हाफ कैन बी फिल्ड विथ एनीथिंग. ये पॉसिबिलिटी वाला वर्ल्ड है, राइट? जो थोड़ा ज्यादा प्रैग्मेटिक है वो क्या बोलेगा? हाफ फिल्ड विथ वाटर, अनदर हाफ एम्प्टी. आर यू गेटिंग इट? So what I am just trying to say, the moment you are asked to analyze, what you have to do? You have to split the theme of question in 2-3 parts. 2 to 3 parts में theme को break करो, right? Theme को break करो, and then on each part, brief discussion. Is this clear? Each part, brief discussion. That is what is analysis. Is this clear? The moment you break the theme in 3 parts, 2 parts, 4 parts, and on each part separately you do a brief discussion. On that part, if you, discuss the pros and cons, merits and demerits. Then second part, merits and demerits. Third part, merit and demerit. This will make your answer what? Catering the demand of analysis हो गया वो क्या हो गया? It turned into an analysis. Is this clear? So what we have to do? Okay, what we have to do? Okay, what you have to do? We have to split the central theme of the question in 3 to 4 parts, and then on each part we have to do a brief discussion. Is this clear? Yes or no? ठीक है. So like this. अभी बहुत कुछ क्वेश्चन में राइट, कुछ क्वेश्चन में क्या बोलता है राइट, कुछ क्वेश्चन में क्या बोलेगा? Okay, in some question they will ask comment, right? Comment. Now if they are asking you to comment, right, इसका मतलब क्या है? Your opinion. Okay, your opinion. And your opinion ऐसे ही नहीं है I have an opinion, that someone is chore. No, right? This is not comment. This is presumption. Comment क्या होता है? Right? Comment क्या होता है? Informed opinion. Informed opinion. Okay. So your पर्सनल इंफॉर्म्ड ओपिनियन, आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन है एंड दैट इंफॉर्मेशन हैज लेड टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एन ओपिनियन. ओके, सो व्हेन यू आर आस्क्ड टू कमेंट, you will give in answer what? Informed opinion, and this informed opinion, right, should be based on facts, evidence. इसमें देना पड़ेगा आपको evidence, facts. Okay, evidence, facts. Okay, and it's right, it should be balanced. थोड़ा सा, that is also the need when you are making comment, right? It should be balanced. Okay, that is a separate need, but first you need to understand the meaning of comment, right? Meaning of comment. Okay, if you will go and ask for comment from a political leader, now his informed opinion will be slightly biased in favor of the political ideology and the political party which he belongs or she belongs. Okay, but in UPSC, when you are giving your comment, it should be balanced, it should be unbiased, but it should be informed opinion based on facts and evidence. Is this clear? Then only it will cater the need of comment, right? Then only it will cater the need of comment. So like this, there are 16 different directives. Based on directives, you have to first structure your answer in thoughts, okay, and then you have to start writing your answer. So when it comes to science of writing, is this clear? Science of writing, is this clear? Decoding the demand of question by reading question carefully, by devoting some time, okay, to decode demand, and then writing an answer. And I told you that in initial part of your preparation, I would like you to take 3.5 minutes to read, decode demand, understand the demand of question, plan the structure of answer, and then only in 7.5 minutes you have to write your answer based on, right, planning and structuring which you have already done. Okay, but when your preparation will progress forward, and when some maturity will come in your, preparation, that time this 3.5 minutes will come down to 2.5, and this 7.5 can be increased to 8.5. Is this clear? Yes or no? Now, word limit, writing an answer within prescribed word limit, very important, right? Very important. Okay, very important. And right, and I would like to tell you that UPSC is asking, right? UPSC is asking that your answer should not exceed 250 words. Your answer should not exceed 150 word. Now, many students and many institutions, many mentors, they keep on saying that 10% plus and minus is okay. It's not okay. Okay? What is okay? 150 word answer if you write in 135 to 150 words, this is okay. But never you should write a 150 word answer in 160 words. Okay? Why? Because if you write in 160 words, ultimately you will land up leaving 2-3 questions. Okay? If you exceed the word limit, it's not evaluator who is going to penalize you. You already have penalized yourself. If in 5 questions, if you have exceeded word limit by 10%, I can give you in writing that you will miss at least 1 250 word question unattempted. Okay? So forget about evaluator penalizing you. Who has penalized? You yourself have penalized. Okay? और 160 word 150 वर्ड के आंसर की जगह लिख दिया, उससे आपका आधा मार्क्स भी नहीं बढ़ेगा, लेकिन एक आंसर अगर छोड़ दिया तो 4 से 5 मार्क्स नीचे आ गया. You understood? So UPSC has given you an instruction what? UPSC has given you an instruction what? That you should write your answer in not exceeding 150 word. You should give yourself, अगर आपका यही mindset है कि 10% plus minus चलेगा, okay, if this is your mindset, then you give yourself instruction that I will write answer in 140 words. Then you exceed 10%. Okay? If UPSC is asking you to answer in 250 word and you have this temptation that sometime I may exceed some words, sometime I may fall short of some word, then you give yourself instruction that I am going to write in 225 words, and then you exceed 10%, 8%. Then you fall short by 5-6%, no harm, no problem. Is this clear? But yeah, every word counted. Is, are, a, the, every word is counted. Okay? And I told you, no, word limit is directly related with time management. If you exceed the word, you will not be able to complete the paper despite you knowing answer. Okay? Despite you knowing answer. So, during practice, आपको एक चीज समझ लो, क्लास में नोट्स लिखोगे प्लेन शीट पे, नेवर इन रूल्ड शीट. Every time you should write, okay? Every time you should write, you should use plain sheet, because ultimately in the main exam, you are going to write answer in a plain sheet of paper, not on a ruled sheet. Okay, number 1. And number 2, right? Number 2, you should practice answer writing on UPSC format main answer sheet. Okay, so UPSC format main answer sheet में left and right margin and top and bottom margin होता है in each page. And you need to develop a sense that if I write one page, approximately I write, 100 words or 150 words or 125 words, sense develop हो जाना है. Is this clear? So word limit is very important, right? Word limit is very important. And right, in science part, structuring में IBC introduction, body and conclusion strategy. Okay, so 10% of your word limit should be used for introducing the answer, right? 10%. Another 10%, right, should be used to conclude your answer. Okay, and 80% of the word limit should be used for body part of your answer. Okay, now इसमें distortions नहीं करना है. Okay, distortions to what level, right, is acceptable? 10 to 12% if you consume, it is acceptable. Okay, 10 to 12% if you consume even in concluding remarks, that is acceptable. Okay, and with this, if body comes down to 76, that also is acceptable. But beyond this distortion, there will be downward, swing in your score. Okay, so introduction, body and conclusion. Okay, and right, एक चीज, इंट्रोडक्शन हमेशा क्या होना चाहिए? कॉन्टेक्सचुअल, राइट? सेट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट. ओके, सेट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट, and you will be able to write a contextual introduction only when you have understood the question. Okay, this is an indication. By reading the very first sentence, introductory statement, evaluator and examiner will come to know whether you have understood the question or not. Whether you have understood the question or not. Is this clear? Okay, so the introduction should always be contextual. Okay, and एक golden rule बता दूं introduction का, right? Contextual, right? और इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, right? This should be on what theme? हमेशा introduction को कैसे सोचना है? BO, before and on theme, right? Before and on theme. Before का मतलब क्या होता है, right? Past. Past का something से present पे arrive करना है. Before and on theme. Okay, so if you are writing an answer, introduction for any question, right, in the past you can go, and from there you can pick something to arrive in present. Okay, that will make your introductory statement what? Contextual. Okay, contextual. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, if I ask you, discuss, your drift towards civil service, as a career. तो इसमें क्या होना चाहिए? Before and on. Okay, so before and on क्या है? Okay, some of you may say that in nebulous stage, civil service was always there, but during my graduation, this one incident led to concretization that civil service should only be my career. Okay, so you are coming from what? Past to present. और इसमें ज्यादा पास्ट में नहीं जाना है, और ज्यादा पास्ट में जाओगे तो उतना ही कॉम्पैक्ट होते जाना है. ओके, ज्यादा आप एक वर्ड से चले जा सकते हो बहुत, सिंस टाइम इमेमोरियल. ओके, एक वर्ड से तो आप हजारों साल का पास्ट लिख दिया विथ वन वर्ड. यस और नो? दैट सिंस टाइम इमेमोरियल, this has remained one of the focused area for humanity. Okay, if you want to go, to very far in the past and want to come in the present, then you will have to use such words, right, which can make you travel that much in the time scale and distance. Are you getting it? So always introduction should be based on what? Introduction should be based on what? Before and on theme. and it should be contextual. It should set the context. Okay? And it can only be contextual if you have understood the question. Okay? इंट्रोडक्शन में अगर कॉन्टेक्स्ट अगर मिसिंग है, nobody will get impressed. Okay? Nobody will get impressed. ठीक है? अगर फर्स्ट डेट पे गए हो, गर्लफ्रेंड है, बॉयफ्रेंड है, उधर जा करके लंबा इंट्रोडक्शन देना शुरू किया, वाई वी हैव कम फॉर दिस डेट, भाग जाएगी या भाग जाएगा, बोलेगा इसको तो कॉन्टेक्स्ट ही नहीं क्लियर है. नो, कॉन्टेक्चुअल होना है. ओके? एकदम बोलना है कि डे फर्स्ट से व्हेन आई सॉ यू इन द क्लास, आई समहाउ स्टार्टेड लाइकिंग यू. ओके? एंड आई थॉट दैट टुडे I will express myself before you, irrespective of what you are going to decide. It's up to you. And any decision of yours is acceptable to me. No? Present karo apne ko. So introduction should be very contextual, very powerful, very impressive, and it can be based on what theme? Before and on. थोड़ा सा past में जाने का कोशिश करो, एंड प्रेजेंट पे राइट आपको मिल जाएगा इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए स्टेटमेंट, सेंटेंस. यू विल गेट ए गुड सेंटेंस. हाउ गुड, दैट विल डिपेंड ऑन योर लैंग्वेज. ओके? हाउ कॉन्टेक्चुअल, दैट विल डिपेंड ऑन योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ क्वेश्चन. इज दिस क्लियर? राइट? लेकिन थॉट्स को कहां स्टीयर करना है इंट्रोडक्शन सोचते समय? ऑलवेज ऑन विच थीम? Before and on. And similarly, conclusion को सोचते समय, right, the concluding statement should be logical. Right? Concluding statement should be logical. Logical conclusions. It will be logical based on what? मालूम चला, based on your बॉडी पार्ट. बॉडी में जो लिखा है उसके बेसिस पे इफ यू ड्रॉ फाइनल कंक्लूजन, देन इट विल मेक योर कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स लॉजिकल. मालूम चला, समथिंग विच यू हैव नॉट included in the body part of your answer and ultimately have used that in your concluding statement, that will make your concluding statement what? Illogical. Is this clear? So concluding part क्या होना चाहिए? Logical. Okay? And conclusion को सोचते समय thoughts को, right? Thoughts को कहां ले जाना है? O and B. यहां है ये B, O and O. B is what? Before and on. यहां O क्या है? On and beyond. On is present and beyond is future. Right? So, right? So, what's the present status and what we may expect in the future. Okay? If you are able to steer your thoughts in this direction, you will get a very logical, optimistic, positive concluding statement for your answer. Thoughts को कहां steer करना है? On and beyond. On means whatever you have discussed. And based on that discussion, what future you are able to foresee. Right? What final outcome you are able to predict. Okay? That will give a very good, very logical concluding remarks or a statement for your answer. Is this clear? Yes or no? तो इसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? एंड बॉडी पार्ट के लिए तो हमने बता ही दिया आपको कि डिकोडिंग द डिमांड, स्ट्रक्चरिंग विथ वर्ड्स, कैसे स्ट्रक्चर. बट आईबीसी स्ट्रैटेजी क्लियर है? यस और नो? नाउ इफ दिस इज वेरी क्लियर, right, if this is very clear, now I come, right, while you are practicing answer writing. अब आर्ट एंड साइंस, राइट, वाला जो डिस्कशन है उसमें साइंस पार्ट को कंक्लूड कर रहा हूं. साइंस पार्ट ऑफ योर आंसर इज बेस्ड ऑन ABC. ABC of GS answer writing, right? A is accuracy. Accuracy. Okay? अब accuracy में क्या क्या है? You understand the question correctly, right? Accuracy में क्या है? Correct facts, correct example, right? Correct diagram. Okay? You cannot be factually commit errors. Factual mistakes अगर कर दिए, right? Factual errors आ गया, okay? Demand of questions decode नहीं हुआ, marks lose करोगे. A part, accuracy. So accuracy is about what? Understanding the question correctly. Accuracy is about what? Preventing factual errors, right? Accuracy is what? Precise concept. Very precise concept को आपको लिखना है. Okay? Then correct examples देना है. Okay? Correct examples देना है. Okay? Then avoid overgeneralization. Then accuracy will not be there. Avoid overgeneralization. Okay? Then it will cater the need of what? Accuracy. So A part is what? Accuracy. B part is what? Brevity. Brevity. Okay? Brevity में क्या है? Right? Unnecessary stretching नहीं करना है. Unnecessary elaboration नहीं करना है. Okay? Avoid unnecessary stretching. Avoid unnecessary elaboration. Avoid repetitive theme words. Avoid repetitive theme words. Okay? Is this clear? Is this clear? And brevity में क्या आएगा फिर? Okay? Very, very important. Right? Very, very important that, compactness होना चाहिए. Precision. Compactness. Precision. Compactness. And precision and compactness with visibility. और visibility के लिए आप क्या कर सकते हो? Diagrams. Right? Diagrams, flow chart. Flow chart. Map. Mind map. Right? Graphical representation, graph बना दो. ओके, पिक्टोरियल रिप्रेजेंटेशन, कुछ पिक्चर बना दो. ओके, पाई चार्ट बना दो. ओके, फ्लो चार्ट बना दो. आर यू गेटिंग इट? यस और नो? ओके, सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज टू द पॉइंट आंसर करो, प्रिसीजन रखो, कॉम्पैक्टनेस रखो. ओके, देन अननेसेसरी एलेबोरेशंस को प्रिवेंट करो, अनवारंटेड स्ट्रेचिंग को प्रिवेंट करो. देन ओनली ब्रेविटी विल बी देयर इन योर आंसर. एंड देन कम्स, राइट, देन कम्स थर्ड C, right? Then comes the third point, C, clarity. Clarity अगर मिसिंग है आंसर में तो फिर मार्क्स नहीं मिलेगा. ओके, सो व्हेन आई से क्लैरिटी मीन्स व्हाट? यू विल हैव टू प्रेजेंट योर आइडियाज इन सिंपल, लॉजिकल, राइट, एंड स्ट्रक्चर्ड मैनर. मोर इंपॉर्टेंट इज a structured manner. Okay, so clarity, what I mean, presenting idea in simple, logical, स्ट्रक्चर्ड मैनर। क्लैरिटी कब होगा? क्लैरिटी होगा जब आप IBC जो अभी बताया मैं, इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी, कंक्लूजन फॉर्मेट में आंसर लिखोगे। ओके, क्लैरिटी कब होगा? ओके, क्लैरिटी कब होगा? ये जो ब्रेविटी वाला ये कंपोनेंट विल आल्सो फाइंड ए प्लेस इन क्लैरिटी, राइट? इफ यू आर एबल टू supplement your answer with suitable diagram, with suitable graphical representation, with suitable pictorial representation, with suitable map representation, mind map representation, okay, flow chart, okay, that will also bring this. Is this clear? Yes or no? ABC of answer writing. Yes, answer writing. A is accuracy, B is brevity, and C is clarity. Okay, accuracy में क्या क्या है? Accuracy में understanding the demand of question. Okay, accuracy में क्या है? Correct facts, correct suitable examples, okay, right concepts, okay, right concepts, relevancy, redundancy नहीं होना है, relevancy, okay, relevancy as per demand of the question, then only accuracy component is well taken care. And brevity में क्या है? Simple, logical, structured presentation. Okay, repetitive, overstretching, overdoing, okay, elaboration, that will undermine B. Okay, brevity. And C is clarity. C is clarity. Okay, so this is all about A, B, C. This is all about GS answer writing. Okay, and I thought that in the beginning itself I will discuss some part of your answer writing. Okay, so that day one onwards, when we conduct tests, you use the technique which we have discussed in this orientation session, and with practice, with committed effort, right, you will be able to scale up your GS answer writing skills. And this is the key differentiator between ALS and most other reputed IAS institutions in the country. Okay, all other institutes are focused on what? Input. Okay, so they will conduct too many classes, they will provide you too much material, okay, they will offer you too many free elements in their course. But we are focused, along with optimum input, we are focused that output of every student and participant should improve. And this is why in our curriculum, one of the most important thing is your GS answer writing, skills improvement, skill development and sharpening, your essay writing skill development and sharpening, your personality development and improvement. Okay, this is our focused area. Okay, and of course, like any other institute, we are focused on timely completion of the syllabus, okay, thought-provoking session, good team. We are focused on providing good study material. We are also providing inside-outside classroom support. Okay, so we also have, like any other institute, we will conduct tests. Okay, all kind of tests, class test, regular test, weekly test, simulated test, module test, full length test, objective test, descriptive test, so many tests. And sometime we are going to treat you in the class, right? Sometime we will treat you like an IAS in making, and sometime we will treat you like a 10th standard student. Okay, when we will see that you are not complying with instruction because of immaturity and casualness, तो फिर डांट भी मिलेगा. ओके, थोड़ा सा you will find us tough with you, and थोड़ा अच्छा परफॉर्म करोगे तो लॉट ऑफ इंकरेजमेंट, एंड नॉट ओनली इंकरेजमेंट, I have no hesitancy in acknowledging and admitting we learn from our students. Okay? Everybody feels that our students are reflection of what we are. But what we are is the reflection of our past students. We have learned through them. Okay? So we will treat you as an IAS in making. We will also learn many things. Okay? And yesterday, I started that every young person should have a dream. Okay? And what is the big dream of yours? To get into IAS by qualifying civil service exam of 2027 or 2028 or 2029, whichever may be the year, it's up to you. But if you want to know what is the big dream of me and my team, the big dream of me and my team is to see your dream come true. Every mentor at ALS IAS is driven by this big dream, that every aspirant who have shown faith in us, we should withstand the expectation, and we will stand firmly with you, for you, so that you turn your dream into reality. And this is our big dream. Okay, so this is there. And someday during your course, I will conduct an exclusive session on personality development, okay, separately. But today I was interested, in the beginning itself, we should have a, talk on answer writing. So I was interested in this, okay. If you have any question related with answer writing, okay, then you can ask anything about course, program, feel free to ask. Yes. Okay, to an extent possible, we should avoid. Okay, but if you want to structure by putting yourself in the center stage, then you can use pronouns. Okay, but you have to maintain the consistency in the language. Okay, it's not that in some part you have used pronouns and in later part you forget that you have started the answer by using some pronoun. Okay, so consistency, but to an extent possible, you should avoid. Okay, in case study, you must use pronouns. Okay, yeah. Anyone who would like to ask? I hope you all know, tomorrow we are starting with the batch, and first module which we are taking up for GS pre-cum main extensive course is geography, and within geography we are starting with Indian geography. Okay, first week we will have Indian geography. I will conduct the sessions. Second week we will have general geography. Jojo Matthew sir will conduct the sessions. Okay, and then third and fourth week we will continue with geography. We will first complete geography. Okay, you will find the third teacher Rajdeep Chandrakar pitching in for geography, and then we will do geonomics. Okay, so there are some topic which is at the interface of geography as well as economics is what we will pick up and will do. Okay, and when you are coming for geography class, whether offline or online, you all must come in class with Atlas, okay, and Oxford or Black Swan or TTK, any one out of three. Okay, and as a part of GS kit, those who have joined at Delhi Center and other center, they will be also given one atlas from institute. But even before institute give, you should procure one from your side, and you should come in the class with atlas. Okay, and we will have a very interesting discussion. We will have thought-provoking discussions. We will be doing a lot of, activity and exercise during the class along with discussion so that you understand key concepts. Okay? Anything? Yes? Case study. You will find in this paper 4, okay? And you know very well this time, even in prelims, 3 questions were based on ethics or governance part, that if you are placed in a certain situation, then how you would have, responded to the situation. Favorable source. No, that newspaper reading or your life experience. It's possible, provided, in life experience, you are maintaining credibility, reliability, authenticity. False, fabricated experience, right, will present inauthenticity. So, very authentically, if you have undergone a very transformative experience, or someone whom you have watched very closely in your life, who has impacted your thoughts, who have influenced you most, and inside part of the functioning of that officer or public authority, you can use. Okay? Yes, anything else? And I hope you know the timing for classes. What's the timing? 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And you know the rule at ALS? So if you come late, then we will make you wait, right, outside class for some time before we allow entry. And it is the discretion and prerogative of the teacher. Sometime you can be denied. Okay. But I don't want to say this, because yesterday only and day before yesterday, Jojo sir would have also said, discipline is the key to success. Okay. पहला breakthrough तो यही मिलना है कि you should come at least 10-15 minutes before the class, sit, relax, let teacher step in, and first minute onwards, right, you are enrolled in the discussion. Okay? Will there be, means as a part of, right, as a part of our GS program, we don't have, a special component for qualifying paper English, but we will provide based on customized need. Our associate faculty and mentor will, our comprehension teacher and associate faculty will personally, mentor you through Zoom or through live, discussion at Delhi Center, so that you with ease and confidently can qualify the qualifying paper. So this is a question which Teresa has asked. Okay. So thank you very much, Teresa, for the question. Yeah. Anything else? So thank you very much. I wish you all the best for this, wonderful journey which you have already started. See you tomorrow 8 a.m. for discussion on geography. Goodbye.